All right, I have got the recording on. So good evening, and tonight is our team call, and I'm going to keep this brief because I really wanted everybody to be on the Nikin call tonight. The Entrepreneurs Being More call is every Wednesday night, and tonight and probably the next 2 weeks, they are going to be doing this training on using Facebook, and I'm really excited about that. It was really one of the best trainings that I've seen. In fact, I'm taking a course right now and it goes a lot more in depth, but I made an investment of almost $700 for the course. And it's things that as I get going on it, I'm going to share with you all. But this is a really basic course. It gives a lot of really good information. And the gal that's teaching it is the person that's been doing social media for us for a few years now. And so I really encourage those of you who want to grow your business to be on that entrepreneurs meeting call, because Jeff Isom is just doing a great job of sharing, information that we can use to grow our businesses. So it is going to be recorded. And Jeff said, because after I did my sizzle call, I hopped back on. Well, I came in where Jeff was, so I got to hop back on. And they're also going to send not only the recording, but they're going to send a copy of the PowerPoint. So that is absolutely amazing. And I've known for 14 and a half years that this was a very special company, but this is very, very special. So that's what I want us to be focusing on. And if you all take a look at that, also over the weekend, I'm going to be calling all of you and getting some ideas of what you would like to do with your business for the last months of the year. We're moving into August through December. That's 5 months. And this is always the busiest time in Nikin. So no matter how large or how small your dream or goal for us is, we can make it happen. And I have something very exciting to share, and I can only share part of it because I won't know until Monday exactly how all of this is going to work and if I'm able to tell all of it. But a couple of weeks ago, Ruben and I were talking, and I had asked him if he would help me get connected with someone in Latin America who had been doing the business longer than I was and was more successful than me, because I think that that's how you learn how to be successful. If you are a direct who wants to be an executive, you want to talk with somebody who's at least an executive or higher. If you are a executive and you want to go silver, you need somebody who's done it. If you want to go silver, you need to talk to somebody who's done that. If you want to learn how to break silvers, then you need to follow somebody who's done that gold the whole way up. I'll tell you right now that my focus really is just qualifying as gold every month. And I'm not doing that the way I want. And that came directly from Luis Kasuga. Our business is in a position of change, and that's not a bad thing. The people in Latin America have had a 40% increase in business this year. Now, Nikin in the American market, in the United States American market, is doing pretty good. We're doing okay, but we are nowhere near a 40% increase. And it was about 5 years ago that the Latin American market made their changes and started on this. This is not a get rich quick scheme. That's not what this is all about. This is a company and about building a lasting business. And the people down in Latin America, there are people there who are, in their 20s and 30s and 40s. And one of my favorites is whenever I hear Louise talk about she was 87 years old, and she went silver, and he asked her what she wanted to do, and she said she was going to build this, and she was going to build a mansion, and she passed away 2 years afterwards. He said, but I know that she got her mansion, and I love that story. So no matter what your age, right now is a great time to do this. I want to learn what's going on in Latin America, and that's what I said to Ruben. And so Ruben has given me the information, and I'm going to be in touch with a woman in Mexico. Mexico is the strongest market in um, in Latin America. And you all may not know this, but I've done over 200 days of Spanish now on Duolingo, and I'm practicing it every day. And um, I read it better than I speak it, but now I'm texting it, which is really helping. Now I'm getting much better at listening to it. So it'll give me a chance to work on my Spanish. Maybe I can help her a little with her English, but we're going to be working together, and I'm going to be learning about the things that they're doing. I also got a call last night, and I can't, that's what I've got to figure out how much I can tell you about that. But I'm going to be able to get some special coaching that I'll be doing on a weekly basis to grow our team. You know, Nikin is not a loner sport. And I like that because you know what? There's nothing in this world that's ever done just as one that I think really amounts to much. You know, when our worlds have meaning is when we are working together. It's about Nikin is a global business, and it's about everybody working together. And what the company really wants us talking about is our global wellness community. That is the message. We are building a community of people who want to bring wellness to the world. We don't want to be little doctors and treating people. What we want to be doing is sharing these amazing technologies. And, you know, it's not that we can't tell people how, you know, how we can help them, but we also have to be careful. You know, it was pointed out to me yesterday when I got the call and was offered this option of getting this coaching that Nikin has always been changing, and we're in a flux now. So it started out a direct sales company, and it stayed a direct sales company until 1994, and then it went into the world of network marketing. And network marketing is changing now, and it probably is changing for the right reasons. You know, everything that the FTC and the FDA says, I don't always like it, but some of it's really true. I mean, I remember going to a meeting right after a networking meeting right after COVID started, and someone standing up and saying, our our company has a product that can kill COVID-19. And the hairs on the back of my neck stood up because I knew that wasn't true. Nobody has a cure. And you know, and then I've got these people that are wanting me to post something on my page where they say that they're giving away $1,000 a month and they want your information so that they can put it in this drawing. And I'm sorry, but I don't believe that's true. And so when companies make false claims, the FTC and the FDA have to get involved to protect people. So we want to stay in our lane, and we want to do that. If treating was all that much fun, I would be wanting to go to my grave being an advanced practice nurse, but it's not. I mean, things have changed a lot. And I like the idea of promoting wellness and of teaching people how to own their own businesses because you know what? The self-employed are doing better in this COVID world than people who are employees. So I'm going to be able to bring the stuff back with the coaching. I will find out on Monday exactly how much I can share about what I'm doing with you. I'll be sharing all the things that they tell me to do. I really want, and that's why I'm going to be calling all of you, because I want to speak with each of you, find out what your goals are and what your commitment is, and then work with you. Now, I will tell you that a big part of this is going to have to be social media because for another 6 to 9 months, we are going to be more locked down. I mean, it's just the way it is. Um, I get out very, very little, and I'm okay with that. I'm not, you know, jumping for joy, doing cartwheels about it, but I've accepted it. And I really think that if everybody would, you know, lock down as much as they can, that would be very, very beneficial. Um, we've all got to wear a mask. We've all got to socially distance. We've all got to wash our hands. And I believe that the Nikin products benefit me so much because they support my immune system, and we want to share those with others. So there's some really cool things coming over the next month. So I'll be calling all of you this weekend, and I'm actually going to get Jeff to post this on our Facebook page. Two of the things that I really want all of you all to start using is, if you don't have a WhatsApp and you're not a part of our WhatsApp group, I want you to get WhatsApp, because that's going to be the main communication tool. That's a tool that Team Kaizen uses to communicate. It's what Ladies Leading Ladies uses to communicate. It's actually where, if Ruben gets in touch with me, it's usually on WhatsApp. And so it's a great app, and I want all of you to get on it. If you've got an issue with that, please give Jeff a call. You know, we each have our wheel well, and Jeff is great with the technology stuff, and Kimball is so. And I love speaking to people and sharing, and that's where I'm in. And Jeff's really good at that. He really is, but he's just not nearly as excited about doing as I am. And you know, that's what we want to do. Everybody will do their best if they do what they love. I did a talk the other day, and I talked about where your power, you know, your main power comes when you have passion and purpose. And when those two intersect, that's where your power is. And you know when you're doing something like that, because every cell in your body gets excited. And that's what I want to figure out, is where those two intersect with each of you, because each of us is going to do the business differently. And that's great, because we all need that. But we've got to be a team. If we work together as a team, you know, we can all work together. If you've ever watched geese fly, what I love is they fly in that V, and the person at the front changes places because they get tired and another person leads. I'm going to be doing some things over the next week where I'll provide the information, but I want different ones of you to lead this call at night, you know, because each of you were leaders. I didn't ever ask anybody to come in Nikin, and your sponsor didn't ask you to come in Nikin to be a follower. They brought you in because they saw that you had leadership potential. And so my job is help to develop you all as leaders and help us all be able to share these products. And right now, social media is going to be crucial. Luis down in Mexico chose some consultants, and he worked with them, and he worked with them and their teams, and they did what he asked, and they became very successful, and they trained more, and they trained more, and they trained more, and so it grew. Again, it's not going to be overnight, but you know what? Anything worth doing is worth doing well. My mentor as an NLP practitioner and hypnotherapist is 86 years old. And about 2 years ago, he said, I'm going to retire from what I'm doing, Kimball. He said, but I've thought about the next thing I'm going to do. You know, when you're 84 and you can say that, you know, there's always a next thing. Well, heck, look at the people that are running for president. And I'm not going to say anything about my politics, but we've got somebody in the White House who's over 70, and we got one who's 77 who's running. So, hey, you know, it doesn't matter your age. It matters what your intention is. If you haven't read the Delaney sisters, their first 100 years, read it. It's a great tool in talking with people about the importance of wellness, and it is a fabulous tool, you know, for you to follow if you want to live a long time. When I read that book way back when I was in graduate school in my early 30s, I decided I was going to live to be 110. And then, you know what? God brought me what I needed. He brought me Nikin. And I believe that Nikin will be the tool that helps me promote wellness so that my body is strong enough to do that. So that's what I wanted to say. Is there something really big coming? The other thing is, look at your calendars and let's choose a date. And I've got to look and see what's being planned with Mike DiMuccio and what's being planned with Ladies Leading Ladies, because we want to do an event with Dave Johnson, and he's willing to do that with us, and might even see if we can't pull old Rick Murphy in. It would be a short event. It would only be an hour, but we would all be involved. And then the other piece of that is that we want to bring people in. So I have a story to tell you. My coach, Scott Moore, who you know, was taking a gratitude training. And 2 weeks ago, on Monday night, the guy at the end of their call said, I'm giving you an assignment. He said, on Wednesday, I want to raise money for the hungry. And I forget what the goal he told was, but he said you're going to have 3 hours on Wednesday. And that was the parameters he gave. Well, on Wednesday morning, Scott posted on Facebook that he wanted to raise $5,000 for the food banks. And he told what he wanted, and he wanted to do it in 3 hours. And he told them to share their post, but he asked for each person to pick up the phone and contact 2 people just to catch up with them, and then to say, you know what, I'm trying to help a friend of mine. We're trying to raise this money for the food bank. I want somebody to guess how much money was raised. And remember, $5,000 was his goal. How much do you think he raised?
Even more than that, probably.
$85,000.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm always telling you, because you know I love Margaret Mead, never underestimate what a small group of committed people can do. They can change the world. In fact, they're the only thing that ever has. So what I'm asking us to do is for each of you to commit to get 2 people on. And you know what? Tell them you don't have to buy, you don't have to sign up. I want you to see my friends. I want you to see my friends, and I have promised that I'll have 2 people on there. So all you've got to do is to hop on this link and be there. And you know, I know that you care about me because you've shown it all these years. Will you get on for me? Now, how many, you know, people are going to do it, and you only need 2. And if we both bring 2, each one of us, we'll have a huge group on. But I do want us to think about what the best day or night of the week it is to do this, and then start planning it. But I'm just telling you, we have been given an opportunity. And when opportunity knocks, you don't want to turn it down. I know I'm not turning this down. Jeff and I, when this coaching opportunity came up, Jeff and I are looking at how we're changing things. We've got somebody that's hired that's going to do the medical billing, so that's going to take that off Jeff's plate. We have gotten a virtual assistant, so I don't have to deal with all the posting. So think about, because you don't have to have a lot of hours to do this business. You could do this business in 2 hours a week. Now, if you want to grow it big, you're going to have to do more than 2 hours a week. But if you had 2 hours a week that you really worked on contacting and following up and talking to people, you can build it. But you can't do it sometime, because those things that you don't put on your calendar don't happen. You know, some things we have on our calendar, like going to church, going to the bathroom, going to the grocery store, we make those happen because they're considered non-negotiable. But when it comes to something like doing the parts of our business, if we don't have it scheduled, it's just like a doctor's appointment. You don't schedule a doctor's appointment, it won't happen. So I want you all to join with me, because one of the things I love our community. I love all of you. And this is a huge shout out for Shirley Self. I got in touch with her last week, and I had sent her a text and she didn't see it. And then I ended up calling her on Saturday night saying that I was going up to Virginia. I had a friend who had a whole bunch of clothing that his sister had left when she had died. And I thought it could be good for her clothing closet. She hadn't got the other, but she got somebody. I drove up, she came up and met. We worked like banshees. I got there at 10 going through stuff. I think she got there about 12, and we worked till almost 5 and then carried the stuff back to the clothes closet. But out of that, 2,000 pieces of clothing went to that clothes closet. And, you know, Martinsville is a very impoverished area, and the COVID, it's going to hit it harder than most because they really already didn't have that much money. And because you got a lot of opiate users, I mean, you know, when this is all over, who knows? But what I know is because I made that commitment, and because Shirley was committed, we made this happen. We can make this happen, and the world needs what we have to share. So that is it for tonight. I'm going to cut off the recording. Oh, before I stop the recording, let me say that be sure and watch the video and the information that's sent on the Facebook, because we will go over that next week. And I will give you all an assignment, but I'll talk to you a little bit more about that when I call you this week. Thanks for being here tonight.